semifinal against Pulse where it's more than just, you know, Pulse Clan trying to secure themselves a spot and prove themselves. They've done that so many times. So in game number 1 here, I think this is going to be important for 1NE because it's a chance for them to sort of show, hey, we've been up and down throughout this season. We haven't necessarily been able to make a finals yet, but if we can do it here, it'll erase all of the issues in the beginning of, oh my word, this season. Boyo, it might be a little bit more difficult than we thought, though.
Sorry. Maxu and Bolo just pinched him LCT. That is just not fair on 1NE. How are they expected to expect that to happen and then save it? Either way, 1-0 start for Pulse. 20 seconds in, and they might find number 2 straight away as well. It's coming in centre. There's number 2. Okay, Pulse are here to win. They want to go for free.
Yeah, I think so. We were talking about this, about, oh, you know, maybe Pulse will let off the gas a little bit here. They've already secured themselves a major spot. Why would they be you know, why would they be playing this at their full capacity? Apparently because they just want to win. They just like winning. They're up 2-0 within 20 seconds here. This is a ridiculous performance out the gate. And 1NE, now it's time to play the comeback. This is not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but if any team's going to do it, it's going to be 1NE.
You know, I was going to come into this series really hyping up 1NE, really making the storyline here, because, you know, I'm here for the story, I'm here for the good time, and Super Sub Squirrel coming in, part of the story. 1NE, there's the man of the hour, Super Sub Squirrel finding the first goal for 1NE, but I'm going to come into this saying, oh, 1NE, you know, they need to make it here, they need to win this series. This is the most important series of RLCS for them so far, to have a chance at making the major playoffs. But Impulsive came in and absolutely dismantled them in the first 30 seconds. 1NE finally find one back, but they're already a goal down.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult comeback for the team here. They really do have to try and fight tooth and nail if they want a shot at this one. But it's good that they did find a goal. It's a great way to not only get themselves back into this game, but to also kind of slow down Pulse. When they get a goal scored against them, all of a sudden they have to start thinking about their defense because it was offense out the gates here for Pulse Clan. They would just go, go, go the entire time. Question is, can they keep that going? They've got a decent midfield presence building here, starting to press all of 1NE back into their half. They haven't found a shot in quite some time. Squirrel's actually going to prevent that outright, sends this one into the corner. Maxi is waiting, and so is Ballaries, who's going to put a shot, try to put it on target. Poopy will get in the way, but 1NE looking pretty strong. It was a shaky first minute, but finally they're starting to have a response to Pulse Clan.
Early on in this series, it was a bit of a goal fest on the side of Pulse Clan, to put it lightly. They came through and found an insane goal to start things off, and another great one over the kickoff. Things have died down now, and Pulse Clan while still holding their lead, have been giving 1NE a few more chances to break through, and Republic with the pass upfield to Squirrel. That's going in centre to Chaotic. He'll get beaten out on the touch. To the back corner it will go once more. LCT diving on by, beaten by Squirrel with the ball sent long. Up had Chaotic. Maxu will beat him to it. Off the backboard, it's in centre, clear away from Republic. Off to the side, it's in centre. The last 3 times that Pulse Clan and 1NE have met, it's been a win for Pulse Clan every single one. A 3-0 in Swiss just earlier in this regional. A 4-0 perfect sweep in regional number 1, and a 4-3 win in regional number 2. Pulse Clan yet to fall to the 1NE wrath. Maybe this time will be different. They're starting off in favour of Pulse Clan. Means that it might just not be. Going through, off to the back. Receiving it well is LCT. Maybe we'll get the clear upfield, but Maxu sending it high off the ceiling. Chaotic, looking for the pass out to Squirrel. He'll send it off to the back wall. 2 minutes on the clock. The lead still stays intact for Pulse Clan. Will 1NE be able to find one back, or will they hold on? It's a tough ass here. Pulse Clan continuing their reign. Ballaries in centre. LCT waiting in the midline. They falls to Ballaries as a chance for number 3. Saved by Republic back up the other end. 1NE are still hunting for the goal. The Pulse Clan are not budging. That's a good clear up field. Another hard effort for 1NE. They're struggling in defense because Pulse Clan's offense is so good that they have to stretch far and wide for every single save that they make, and it means that for 1NE, one mistake and it is almost curtains for them. 2-1 still. 1 minute 20 on the clock. We have unfortunately lost a Bass to connection issue, but that one comes in centre. It is Rapupi once again. Squirrel cannot find the save. Pulse Clan find number 3. 3-1 for them now, a minute on the clock. And wow, 1NE cannot keep things up. Gex, you're popped in. 1NE not looking like the best start.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pop in here. More tech issues. Technology. It's lovely. But 1NE, you know, they are one back into this, and minute left of gameplay here does give them the time to at least build some momentum for themselves, at the very least. Not like that. Maxiu hammers that down.
Well, take the momentum. It's a easy goal for Pulse Clan. I guess more time to play in this game as they have to watch the goal when you're playing the kickoff. I think that's the only extra time they'll be gaining with 57 seconds. 4-1 for Pulse Clan. This is looking like a very dominant game 1 win. It was looking very close as time went on during the kind of middle half of the game. But now in the ending minutes, it's been all Pulse Clan once again, finding themselves another 2 goals. Can 1NE find one for good measure? Up comes Rapupi off the backboard, but he cannot even find that touch. The defense is open. It will be another for Baller Reef. That's the game said and done. Pulse Clan are going to win it.
Look, my fingers are crossed that this is the classic 1NE warm-up match that they always need at the start, particularly with Squirrel coming back in. Like, he's been around a long, long time. I think that's definitely a standard that he brought as well, so that's kind of what I'm hoping for here, but Pulse Clan is really, really dominant. I mean, they have been all season. The one thing that could help them out is Squirrel chokes it so hard.
I've said so much about you, Squirrel. You can't. I've been calling you the super sub. I've been saying you're going to be the reason why you win. You cannot miss an open net like that, please. Make up for it. You may have scored the only goal for 1NE, but you cannot miss that. That is disgraceful. Either way, Pulse Clan are going to win 5-1, but it should have been 5-2 at least. It doesn't matter because it's still a win. But it should have been 5-2.
Yeah, disappointing from our favorite player on pitch, clearly. But you know, there is some promise with Squirrel in the squad, and that may not even be Squirrel himself. The promise there being that they play fast when Squirrel's on. They're forced to because that's the way he plays. And Yummy mentioned this yesterday. They had a lot more attack than you're used to seeing out of 1NE eSports. I think that quick playstyle really getting in the faces of their opponents is actually a benefit against Pulse Clan, who plays that fast style as well, and they play mechanical, so shutting that down early is promising. However, like I said, my fingers are crossed that that was a warm-up game for 1NE. I want to see all of the games closer than that, even if Pulse somehow 4-0s this.
He somehow throws heroes after that first game. I feel like it's a very possible and not likely per se, but definitely leaning more towards the likely realm after that performance. They were scoring some incredible goals and making some incredible plays. A lot of the goals kind of later on came from misplays from 1NE, be it desperate for finding something of their own, or be it just they started to kind of lose control. And of course that miss from Squirrel cannot be forgotten about. It's something that, if in a more crucial situation that happens, will be the losing factor for 1NE. Fortunately, it happened when they were 5-1 down, so it doesn't matter too much. But if it happens again, say in a closer game and it's like 1 apiece or 2-1 to Pulse, that is something that's going to stick with them and it's going to be damaging to their play.
You know, another interesting factor about Squirrel coming into this is actually LCT, looking at the other side, because in his interview yesterday, LCT, that, you know, he said he's one of realistically the younger players in the region as far as these top teams go. Same with Maxiu. Both of them, I believe, looked up to Squirrel coming into this, and LCT said as much in his interview, so it must mean something to them coming up against him here. Sure, it's not the first time it's happened, but it definitely is the first time it's happened in RLCS.
Well, with Baller Reef meeting that ball and passing it down, Pulse are off to a good start at beating the Super Sub, as we mentioned, the Squirrel and 1NE as a whole. I would say it's a rivalry, but it's probably just an absolute beating, a bullying session a lot of the time when these two teams face. Pulse, a 1-0 in the series after game number 1, a dominant performance. Game number 2 off to a bit of a slower start. I would say for the goodness in 1NE here, I am happy for them that they're not conceding 2 goals straight away, but I'm sad in Pulse's regard because the goals that they scored straight away were incredible. Then it comes from Chaotic in the pass out centre. Rapupi will receive and off the ceiling it will bounce. Squirrel outside to Rapupi. Will not be caught just yet. Off the corner it will go. Ball reads it back up the other end. A minute gone by and Chaotic. They slip that ball towards the net. A double commit save, but a save nonetheless. 1NE are fighting through the pressure, but Pulse Clan are looking clean and tidy, making those saves.
Yeah, they're coming through nicely, but it is a fairly even game, and we've had a decent amount of gameplay already with nothing breaking the tide here. So it could well and truly be 1NE. It's not going to be off of that touch, though, as it comes back downfield. Squirrel is the man in defense there, but off the backboard. Now a good chance to Ballaris, but LCT or Maxi, you might have been fast enough to make that touch. Ballaris is that solid back line defense, that glue in the team, as Yummy would have said, and unfortunately isn't able to get there quick enough. It was a tough ask, but so is that save. Rapupi with incredible saving grace there.
A very good recovery after the very big mistake. The double commit almost costing 1NE the first. But they do recover. Rapupi finding the save and back up the other end of Ballaris to try and continue that pressure back to improve him a little bit more. Chaotic off to the side will win 150. But the ball falls down to LCT, rolling it around the corner. Past one it will go, off the back stage from Squirrel. Half the game just about gone by. We remain 0-0. Game number 2, 1NE will be looking to tie up the series. But Pulse Clan doing everything they can to deny that opportunity.
It's worth mentioning here as well that this means so much more to 1NE than it does Pulse. Pulse are secured. They do not have that stress on their shoulders of will they make it to the LAN playoffs. They know that they're making it to those playoffs. 1NE, if they win this series, they are in a chance even if they lose somehow in the grand final, because they will be dead even with Azure. They need that extra point from a win, but Maxiu, he's going to be the first to strike in this match, and Pulse Clan, that dominant team in the region, up once again.
1-0 for Pulse, 2 minutes in. 2 minutes on the clock, sorry, they get the first goal. 1NE facing the early deficit is not really would particularly like to be lying, as time running dry. They are going to have to scramble for a goal back themselves and equalise this game. Upfield it will be sent to Chaotic and met out in the midfield by Rapupi. It's not the most controlling of touches and throwing the possession away to LCT. Off the back, Rapupi ready to receive. It comes on in centre. Chaotic back off to the side. 90 seconds now on the clock. It will come off the ceiling in towards centre. LCT will win that one and Rapupi back the other way. Squirrel has to rush on back to net. Will make it there and take it high. Off the ceiling he will go with the pass downfield. No one to connect. The demo from Chaotic. Looking for that pass in centre. Will it be enough for the goal? Off the backboard, bouncing on and down. The clear back to the corner. Squirrel cannot make the plays happen upfield.
But Chaotic can take it out of goal. They need to be able to make more out of their defense. Turn it into a counter-attack. LCT setting this up again. A big demo and Squirrel there. May open an opportunity as well, but no. The opportunity doesn't come, and now a shot from Chaotic. Ballaris just gets there in time.
On the line, safe from Ballaris, and back up the other end it will go. With 40 seconds on the clock now. 1-0 it remains for 1NE. I mean for Pulse Clan, sorry, in the series and the game. 1NE going to harp that comeback, but Pulse with full control on the line. Save, it should be a goal in the follow-up, but Chaotic, a great recovery to make that save. The ball will travel high. And it falls out to Squirrel. He finds Rapupi. The ceiling once more, Pulse Clan. They want to make their way to the finals. They want to go free for free. They're on a good track to do so. If they can survive for 20 more seconds, it'll be 2-0 the series score. Ballaris clear away. Rapupi meets it once again. Back into centre. Off to the back it will go. Matchu with the save and Squirrel off the corner. Is it bouncing off the ceiling? No one is there to put the pressure on. The clear away means that 1NE have to go the length of the pitch, and it will be denied. To the ground it will drop. Squirrel tries its best to keep it high, but Pulse Clan persevere, and they take the win in game number 2. 2-0 the series now.
Yeah, 2-0, and that's not where 1NE wants to be. I thought that they would learn from their experience in Regional 1 that they need to get Ballaris out of that net if they want to score, because he's shown up there with saves. I mean, same as Maxiu realistically there, but probably more impact on the defensive side of things every time he's needed. So Maxiu and LCT are incredible individual players, but they are nothing without Bullarice to bring them together, to back them up when they go for those big plays and stuff. Without him there, that's when 1NE can strike. They need to try and make those physical plays, and that's what I expect out of Squirrel as well. He is a player that's willing to go for those.
I think a lot of the time 1NE had opportunities, but Pulse were just better. A lot of the time Pulse just outplaying in the defense, were making the necessary saves, and of course you see 1NE with this incredible save right here, keeping that one out by the skin of their teeth, but it wasn't enough. They had the 1-goal deficit. They never found this one back, and because of that, it's another unfortunate loss for 1NE, and now 2-0 for Pulse in series.
I mean, it might be disappointing for 1NE, but this is what we expect out of Pulse. They are strong. They are the head of this region. And while there are teams that are catching them, 1NE included, 1NE doesn't have their full roster right now. They are weakened despite that super sub Squirrel. I'm sorry, I have to say it. The statistics don't lie that they are that strong team, with Poofy. And he's not here right now. He's off doing those important studies. You know, real life has to come in at some point, even if you're a Rocket League pro. So that's what's happening. And 1NE still putting up a fight here. We're coming into this third game. We're looking for goals out of 1NE. I'm looking for promise. I'm looking for a push from them.
And comes Bullarice with the pass to LCT, and it might be an early goal for Pulse. Off the post, bouncing on in. Pulse Clan are looking for the sweep, and 1-0 getting them a free, but they were in good track to do so, as the 1NE defense could just not find the necessary touches.
I mean, a great shot coming off of that post. Very, very hard to read if it was even going in. So Pulse Clan, again, just working off of their best gameplay, and they know what to do to make these saves questionable out of 1NE. Right now, they're still only one up, 4 minutes into this, and a touch like that could mean a goal, but everybody throwing themselves at this. Pulse Clan have opened up a spot in the defense. Can they do anything? Rapupi actually bumped into that to make a waterfall down. Chaotic does send it middle. A pass across from Squirrel to Rapupi. One chance off the crossbar, but Maxiu gets a hold of it. Now dribbling downfield, gets the reset. It goes to LCT and away to the midfield.
1NE are making the chances happen, but the issue is they are playing too conservative. They're not making the risks because they're not scoring on those opportunities. The ball came in centre, he didn't pounce on it, and now on the other end, the defense got scrambled. Pulse Clan will capitalise. 90 seconds gone, and it's 2-0.
And this is how Pulse Clan came up to be the team that they are, beating 1NE and other big competitors on that kind of response game. They're happy to sit in that defense and then do the responses, but Chaotic gets one back. They're back in it again, and off of a great little center here. Rapupi does take a good shot. Bullarice was there, but he forces Bullarice into a position where he cannot save it a second time.
Another one for Pulse. 2-1. 90 seconds if Pulse win this game. Leo the series, so they comes in centre. LCT there, attempt the shot on net. They'll be barely missing out. 1NE looking to harp this comeback. If they can get another one, it will be an even game. The first time since it was 0-0. That one will drop in on centre. Not enough just yet. Chaotic off the back and force it through. We'll drop on back to Bullarice in the pass. Not LCT, sorry, Squirrel. That one slipping through and almost again. 1NE hanging on with the skin of their teeth.
Now Rapupi will send this into the midfield. A great upfield pass to Chaotic, but the shot isn't clean. Had he been able to target that top left corner rather than top right, they might have had a goal, but just a fast play, and there's only so much you can do. Gets taken away from them with that great defense out of Chaotic this time around. LCT now looking for the same sort of passing play here, going from ground this time, but Maxiu can't make the play work. LCT into the corner, now looking for that defense. Chaotic does get a touch. Squirrel, such an important touch there, and they're kept at bay for just a moment longer.
Feed upfield, diving in as Chaotic. If he can get this off the bat where it would be a prime chance, he sends it low, and Bullarice can just sit still in there ready for that save. Back up the other end, he will send it now. Matthew backs off. Bullarice still on this ball with control. LCT will find one through. Squirrel waits back with the save. The pass upfield denied by MATCH. 1NE have got to get a move on. They are still trailing by 1. They are still down in the series. If they go 3-0 down, I don't see the comeback happening. As that one comes through, Squirrel's attempt. Saved on the line. Rapupi off the corner, looked for the pass to Chaotic. Denied once again, bouncing down off the ceiling. Squirrel will receive and rolling through centre. But Ori's back up the other end.
I like the idea out of Squirrel. Fire just narrowly past the man who can't do anything more to save. Make that surprise attempt an angle on the goal and maybe find what you need, but he missed the touch, sent it straight into the men instead, and now they're still fighting for that goal, and minute 10 left, 70 seconds, as Maxiu rotates back, looking for LCT to take control. It'll get taken away from him by Squirrel. Maxiu into the midfield. Can 1NE form an attack? Rapupi's trying. Ballaris away to the side. Chaotic, one more attempt here now, but it is put away to the midfield, and 1NE will have to try and form it again.
In comes Rapupi to pass in centre. LCT will receive off the ceiling, bouncing on down. MATCH diving in for that ball, will not find the back of the net. Chaotic tries to send it back the other way, denied by LCT. Paul's plan, if they can hold for 30 more seconds, will head to match point. Chaotic will Squirrel to get that one upfield, and it will be the top corner. 1NE are back in it.
We saw it yesterday out of Chaotic. He sits back and waits for these opportunities. A pass to him in his own side, an opportunity on net, and just a fast shot upfield, scoring it just the way he did against Azure, bringing 1NE back into this. It's such a classic way for them to make their point in this series.
Maybe down, but they are not out. The series in favour of Pulse 2-0, but the game tied 2 apiece. 1NE can take this game here if they can just force a mistake from Pulse Clan. Rapupi off the side, 10 seconds on the clock, and overtime looking likely to bounce it on in. Rapupi top corner, never mind the OT, it looks like an outright regulation time win. 3-2, 7 seconds. 1NE not going down without a fight.
And it's Squirrel with the setup. What a bang into the corner. LCT couldn't read it. Makes an uncharacteristic mistake under the pressure of that shot. And it gets finished off so well there. 1NE have taken it to the ground. They will take a point back into this series, and it cannot be a sweep now.
1NE take game number 3, trying to harp the comeback. But on the other hand, kind of dimmed in the mood for just a moment, unfortunately. Pulse Clan kept that incredibly close, and almost heading to OT means that they are in no way going to get beaten as easily ever. 1NE take 1 win, but they've got to find some more on this journey to take down Pulse Clan. It's not going to get any easier.
Fairly well respected, reflective shot score there, 7-5 as well. 1NE, of course, on the upper side of that to take that extra goal, but it took them until the final moments, didn't it? I mean, 7 seconds was all that remained when they secured that match with that final goal. We thought we were going to see overtime, and Squirrel stepped through with a brilliantly placed shot for the pass, finished off, and 1NE have made it back, but Pulse are still the strongest team in the region. You cannot say that this is the defining moment, that this is a definite turning point for 1NE. They have to show some real consistency here and show us a win a second time here.
As we head in for game number 4, either Pulse Clan can head to match point, or 1NE can try and make things even. If they can make things even, we've got a very interesting series on our hand, but it's a very important game here for 1NE. Game number 4, they're coming off the back of a win. Can they replicate that once again and make this 2 apiece and really stick it to Pulse Clan and make them work for it?
In the elimination bracket, actually, I don't think Azure took more than 1 game ever against Pulse. So even with a sub, 1NE have just made that scoreline their own. Oh, a great touch-up field from Ballaris. Read that well, but nobody to follow through with it. I mean, what could you do if it was such a fast touch? Maxiu, 1 chance, a second off of Chaotic. Ballaris. But no, it's going to go back to that midfield again.
Off the back wall, will bounce on down. 1NE's defense, and although it has had troubles at times with people kind of lacking and making some really missed touches, has also had some incredible moments, making some insane saves. It has been the winning factor for them at times, but they need to break through onto offense. They are facing a big attack at the moment. A minute gone by and the ball has been in their half for pretty much all of it. That one should have been saved by Chaotic. I believe it was him in net. A minute gone, and that's a disappointing goal to concede.
A little bit of a misplay by Squirrel, definitely threw up the rotation there a little bit, but Chaotic, you're right, absolutely should have made that save. It was a direct shot on goal, placed well within his reach, and it looked like he wanted to pre-jump. Now, he has to be in fear of the speed of the shots that do come out of Pulse Clan, but the setup wasn't there to make that an impossible save, and he should have had some confidence. He can't make a save there either, but this time it's a lot more fair, I think, as LCT places that right on top, but in front of him.
He could have been flipping early, means that there's no chance of it. 2-0. 90 seconds is just about gone by. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. 1NE trailing by 2, very familiar to that game number 1 beginning. They can maybe try and match that continuation and make it a little bit closer, that would be kind, but Pulse Clan, they want to deny any opportunity. As I said, they want to, and I would say they even deserve to go 3-3 in this region. They're on that journey and they have to make it to the finals first, and dismantling 1NE is one step towards that success.
It is indeed. I mean, even though they don't have the pressure of making playoffs off of this match, they want as many points as humanly possible in their possession out of this split. LCT earning another goal and a point towards that goal, because they still have Worlds to look for out of the points from this series.
3-0, 3 minutes, and as we're talking about Pulse, not only do they want to go 3-3, but they want to keep the good results on their side, because they are a team who are going to be heading to the major playoffs. The favourites from APAC South, of course, in the major playoffs. They're likely to be facing off against the best in APAC North, which is going to be Tokyo Verde. They want all the practice they can get. They want to prove how good they are, and this is a defining game for them once again. They are showing 1NE, you're not as good as us. We are just the better team, and it's not close.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of play that shows exactly why you were saying earlier to me in one of the breaks that, Pulse Clan have come up. It's not like they weren't in with a fight against Tokyo Verde in the first place, but they have come up this season, and they're looking far more solid to be able to take that away from them. I mean, it's definitely still a lot of doubt there, but Pulse Clan, with every goal in this series as well, shows so much more how powerful they are. Ball Reese off from the ceiling, gets a touch, but taken away by Rapupi. Actually a counterattack almost underway for 1NE, but it does get removed from them by Maxiu.
All trying to live up to the organisation name with those attempted shots now. It's a legacy organisation in Rocket League. For freestyling previously and still to the degree, but now picking up a professional team. It's a new step for the organisation. They're making waves in APAC South and coming through. 1NE are trying to make some waves themselves in this game with 2 minutes on the clock and a 4-goal deficit. It makes it seem unlikely for the comeback, and they're going to have to try and come through to the next game on a clean slate, which is going to be an even more difficult task.
A great pass. Decision making is actually going well for 1NE right now, but they're still not holding up to the attack of Pulse Clan. It's disturbingly threatening. Every time Pulse are in front of the 1NE net, you almost expect them to score to get past the defense, no matter how good it is anywhere in this region, and 1NE is not the exception to that rule. Right now, Pulse Clan have so much pressure. 1NE have been able to push out with some smart plays like we just saw, even correcting on mistakes. We saw Squirrel miss the ball, turn around and get a back pass. It's so crucial, plays like that, to fix errors as fast as possible.
LCT with a pass and sensor, just stalling out this game, trying to find any extra goal they can, just to show off their skills realistically. Match will take it low, he'll get a dunk. It's an absolute stomping from Pulse in game 4. 5-0, 52 seconds. How many more will they find?
1NE showing some nerves there. Squirrel had a decent touch, but there was already a bit of a double commit towards that ball before that point, and those commits, especially against the massively huge lead that Pulse Clan has, the skill they clearly possess right now, above 1NE, that's definitely going to result in a goal every time.
Well, I'm already going to talk about it. Game number 5, that's our next game on the chopping block. 1NE, they're going to have to do something special. If they want to come back against Pulse, make a chance in the major playoffs. If they don't call a timeout after this game, I do not know what is going on with them, because this is a game which is going to sting it, so they'll try and figure something out. They're going to be 3-1 down in the series. They've got to have the comeback. Pulse are in a very, very strong position right now, and I do think they'll be winning it 4-1 unless 1NE can pull off something absolutely magical.
Another gold, Pulse Clan just securing how much they want to be dominant in this game and series, but it's not completely dominant yet. 1NE have had a look in. It would really shock me if they don't pick up that technical timeout themselves after this match. I thought they would do it after their second loss. They did yesterday. And I was actually going to ask Squirrel when we had him on for the interview about that. It slipped my mind, and I went and asked him later. I'm glad I didn't ask him on desk. It was a very, very boring response to what did they talk about in that time. Nothing. They sat back, relaxed, and came in relaxed, and that was the answer.
Well, as we expect a timeout, we're curious if we will get it. Match are getting the MVP with 3 goals and 2 assists there. The stats don't really matter too much. It's just a absolute stat fest for Pulse. They were just farming them, maybe Octane.gg, trying to get some records on the board perhaps, but either way, the win for Pulse makes them at match point. 1 game win away from moving on to the finals for the 3rd time in a row, and a potential 3rd regional win in a row.
You know what I just heard? Something unbelievable. No timeout. We're going straight into our next game after these replays, and I can't believe it. Oh, no, never mind. They just did. As I called it out, they have changed their mind. They've made the last-minute decision to take that timeout, and what a good decision it is. I was going to call it a mistake if they didn't, so... 1NE play best under calm conditions. Squirrel definitely, and he's known as kind of one of the most clutch players in APAC South, if not all of Asia, but you can't rely on one player like that. You've got to keep everybody's heads straight, and particularly when you're under this amount of pressure, looking at your chances slipping away for the playoffs for APAC, it's tough.
Yeah, and I think with this timeout, it's going to be hard for 1NE to even bounce back from it. Pulse are a different beast, and they're also having the time as well. They don't have to keep on playing. They're also in a timeout. They also have this minute to talk with each other, keep things up, see what's going well, and keep doing it. So 1NE have a lot of work to do, and if they can use this timeout well enough, it would be insane. I may have predicted 1NE, and it was a lot of copium for Squirrel being the super sub, maybe a bit of a meme pick, I can't lie. But I don't have hope in them here. I think Pulse are going to take this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always had hope in 1NE. They've been a team that has always showed up to, like, it's almost unbelievable to imagine a scenario where Asia gets to APAC playoffs without 1NE there, but that's what we're looking at. Pulse are so confident right now. They are showing up in such a massive way, and they need to set a standard for themselves going into those playoffs.
Difficult for 1NE here because, of course, are playing for sub, and I guess they can put the blame down to that, but I wouldn't even say Squirrel's been the worst. He's been very, very solid as a player, doing an incredible job, and as we get into this game number 5, I think the whole team as a whole unit needs to step up and really stick it to Pulse here. But Pulse as a whole unit are playing well as a team. They're making good passes, they're making great connections. Reese has actually, in my opinion, been the star of the show, which is an odd thing to see, as he's usually that third man cleaning things up, but he has been an exceptional player today.
I absolutely agree. I think Reese has been heading up the plays. He's usually the name we say least when we're talking about Pulse, and today it's all we can talk about. Right now, Maxiu has control of that though, and CT striking early. Pulse really, really out of the gate, so strong.
Are we even surprised he fakes out one, and Butterreese ready in perfect position with a pass to LCT. It's a 1-0 for Pulse Clan, not even 10 seconds in. And I think we've neglected to mention somewhat of a grudge match as well, with Pulse Clan being in this with Chaotic repping that Nexus tag as well, being a part of the freestyling clan over there. So already a bit of a grudge match, which Pulse are dominating in. They've done it earlier in the regional as well, and 1-0 already for game number 5. They are almost guaranteed a final spot at this stage.
And look, there's still promise. 1NE have taken a game, and I do not think that Pulse gave that away. You know, we saw their ability to play for fun and mess around and lose a game accidentally. That's not what we saw. 1NE were able to conquer them one game here. They can do it again, but I don't think they've got the consistency to be able to do that. They haven't been practicing with the play style that Squirrel gives them, almost able to benefit from it there though.
Still no success though. A minute gone. It is a 1NE's major playoff spot on the line. If they can't find the goals back, they will have no hope of making the major playoffs. They'll be eliminated from the regional today. He'll be going home as the third place team from the APAC South region. In comes Butterreese off to the backboard, where Poopy will find a save. When they have to advance upfield, the touch will send it long. Off to the corner, Butterreese awaits. It's a familiar place for where they need to be in. Every single regional, they have faced Pulse Clan or Alki at the time in the semi-finals, never once making it further. They are consistent, but they can never get past the final hurdle.
Do they ever hate these brackets coming out of Swiss stage? Not once have they not had they had the option to avoid Pulse until the grand final, and for sure they would have made a second place. They've proven that without a doubt, I think, at this point, but they've just been unable to find that path through, and they've been able to unable to find it again this time as well. And right now they're being shut down for it. Pulse Clan do not want to give them any room. Ooh, looking for the physical play there as well, but Rapupi gets away and actually gets the demo himself. A pass from Squirrel up to Rapupi, but a little bit of a misplay means they will have to scramble back for defense here and take it into their own half as their possession.
I know that pass did find a teammate. It was a double commit on the pass, which there was plenty of time to communicate that. There was literally no one challenging. Yeah. They had full control of the ball. They both went for it. And it's simple mistakes like that which are really costing 1NE. Pulse just look like a more cohesive team. They're obviously a lot more mechanical, as we've seen from them time and time again. Individually skilled players, I would say Pulse top it. 1NE's best bet is their team synergy, but they are just seeming to lack there today. As that one comes in centre, it'll be easily saved by Butterreese. And back up the other end with 0 boost. Very well win the 50, but needing to find a pass. No success right there. Rapupi comes on in. The ball falls to the ceiling once more. Dropping on down, 2 minutes on the clock. Pulse Man just got to survive for 2 more minutes, and they move on to the grand finals.
And there are options here. There are still options for 1NE, and there's one taken. Chaotic gets the flick past the last member of Pulse and secures their way back into this game. It's 1-1. They're not out of this yet. They're still match point, but they are in with a chance.
The hopes and dreams are not dead yet for 1NE. Clawing themselves back into this game. 90 seconds on the clock. It will fall out to Squirrel. He'll take it high to the backboard. No follow-up just yet. Chaotic will try. Match will beat him. Rushing back to net is Rapupi. He'll make the save out to the side. Pulse will not slow down. A minute approach. Dry. That's on net. It will be a goal. It's another goal for 1NE, and they have the lead. They have the hope.
And isn't that what you want to see? Keep this series alive. I'm sure even Pulse Clan fans want to see more out of this series. And that's what 1NE is giving us right now. A minute 16. They have to be able to hold a scoreline though. And at least with Poofy on the team, they have struggled to do that. Right now, under attack again. Can they push out that time? Can they make attacks that threaten enough to keep them away from their own net?
Chaotic back up the other end, met by Butterreese. The ball will rise high. Bouncing on in centre,
no.
It's a prime chance, but no one there from Pulse to score it. They're all too far back. 1NE can get the big clearance upfield. That one will be travelling barely wide. If that was a goal, that might have meant the game. In counter Poopy, saved by LCT. The big pinch upfield. It is not yet safe for 1NE. We have seen time and time again and other how good Pulse Clan are at making a comeback in the dying minute. 1NE needs to do an incredible job to survive. In comes MATCH VOD, the ball sent long. Saved by Chaotic on the line, LCT high, off to the backboard to send themselves to grand finals. Pulse have the extra life. 1NE on their final. Saved well, off to the side. MATCH VOD to Boris. He can't make the connection in time. Squirrel to Chaotic to try and kill this game, to try and secure it here. It will bounce on down, rolling in centre. Boris to MATCH VOD. It's a last-ditch effort off the backboard. No one there. 1NE will take it, and the series is not dead yet.
It will continue, and oh man, am I glad about it, because I don't think we've seen the best out of 1NE yet. I don't think we've even seen them play quite as well as we did yesterday, and that wasn't their max. I know they can hit higher than this. Pulse Clan haven't been pushed that far yet. I don't think we've ever seen the best out of Pulse Clan. 1NE might be able to do it today, regardless of the sub coming in. And maybe even because of it. Squirrel is so fast that it forces Pulse to change their game, to be adaptive. And that game, they weren't able to do it well enough.
It started off being so dominant for Pulse. They looked like they had all the control. But as time went on, Pulse made some mistakes and 1NE made some incredible plays. They found a comeback. They found the game win. And now the series sits 3-2 in favour of Pulse. Could we have a Game 7, or will it be one here?
Oh, I hope so. Game 7s are the staple for 1NE, aren't they? Really, it does seem to go that way. A lot of the time, it's either a sweep or a Game 7. There's nothing in between for them. And they've proven that time and time again, even since entering RLCS. No matter what roster they've got, that seems to be the case. But it's a bit of a shame that we don't have player cams on today. They've declined that, but you know what? We saw a lot of fun coming out of 1NE yesterday. I don't think they're having quite as much fun today. Good save, though.
More just terror than fun as the ball is sent long. Squirrel will meet it. Shot's nowhere near strong enough to cause any kind of damage. Pulse coming out almost defending a goal straight away. They had an incredible start. It will not find the back of the net, but Squirrel up the other end will try and find the one of his own. This, as we keep on mentioning, and we cannot stress it enough, is so important for 1NE. If they want a chance to make the major, any sliver of a chance, they've got to win. But Pulse, they have the bigger chance. They want to go free for free. They are fighting for it. 30 seconds in, 1-0.
Pulse already secured completely for this final 1NE. If they make this match, it may not secure them, but even just winning this one, getting to the finals, means that there would have to be a tiebreaker. So this match alone is the most important match they will play today, even if they win. Pulse Max U coming in hot though. 2-0 lead. We've seen it before out of Pulse Clan. 1NE does struggle to step back up once they're under that scoreline by any reasonable margin, and now they are again. We have to see it out of them to take us to that best of 7.
The pressure is getting to 1NE. They've conceded 2 early goals in a make or break game for them. If they want to go to Game 7, they've got to pick up the pace fast. Pulse Clan trying to avoid that Game 7. It's almost a replica of the disconnected series earlier on. Up the field goes Squirrel. Sending it off to the side. Chaotic will receive, and it bounces on down. He tries to find the follow-up touch to no success. LCT back up the other end. Will be met by Rapupi. Squirrel diving on in and centered it will go LCT. It could be number 3. It's a dangerous possession for 1NE. Then comes a demo. In comes the shot. It will be saved after a weak shot to net. The pressure will sustain. And Pulse Clan not giving any easy opportunities for 1NE.
And a low boost for Poopy, finally finding that confidence to just have patience. Squirrel will find the goal that means possibly everything. It's one back. It's the first one into Game 6. And it could be one on the trail that they need to take us to Game 7 and possibly even with a sub, take down the mountain that is Pulse Clan.
2-1. Pulse Clan may have the lead, but it is fragile now. 1NE are in a position that they can make the comeback, but will it be allowed to happen? Rapupi round the corner. Hit by Baller Reese first, he was unable to find a touch past Squirrel. Chaotic will send it high to the corner. Saved well by LCT. Off to the back, Rapupi once more. The ball will travel away, Baller Reese up the other end. That's a big dunk, is that going to travel into net? It will be barely wide. A close one there, and opposing defense caught out for a moment. Fortunate for them that it's not on target, but a risk nonetheless. That's in centre, it's an attempt on net. Saved by Squirrel, he looks to send it long upfield. Success it will be found, half the game it's still to go. A 1-goal lead that sits in the favour of Pulse Clan. Fragile, but Pulse Clan, just by their own merit, can make it very secure.
That's unusual, Chaotic. Such an insanely good ones player. The only reason he would lose that challenge is A, nerves, and B, Pulse. Every member of this team is just as good as him on that front, and he wasn't able to get it past. It wasn't a bad 50 for them, but had he won that, it was almost certainly a goal away. A good demo there. Might open up an opportunity for Rapupi. He's known for the fakes. He goes for one, beats one, but it gets sent back to the midfield. Chaotic now into the midfield again. It's a pass, this time in Pulse Clan's benefit. They've got the attack on. Maxiu will leave it for LCT, but a weak shot should be taken out of danger for 1NE.
Time is running dry, 90 seconds approaching. 1NE are going to make the move upfield, and that's just to tie the game. It's not even for the lead if they can score. In comes Squirrel, saved by Baller Reese. Chaotic can't hold it. It could be backed off. Has to be careful, has to be tentative, has to be slow, has to be calculated. They'll take it high in the path, out to Chaotic. Off to the corner now. Matchu holding things out, not allowing one wrong step. Pulse Clan on a knife's edge, one wrong move and it could be a tied game. In comes Rapupi, but getting bumped means he cannot find the shot. Back to the corner, Squirrel away up the other end. Matchu will stall it out. In comes Baller Reese to try and make the save. Matchu to clear. Pulse Clan doing everything they can to not allow 1NE the opportunity of a goal.
60 seconds left in this matchup. This could be the last 60 seconds before Azure know that they are locked in. A loss here for 1NE means Azure goes through. They have to make a play now. Squirrel off the backboard. Chaotic does follow it up, but not fast enough. Beaten well and truly by Maxiu. Baller Reese looking for a second touch as well, but doesn't find it. Confident defense here from Squirrel, goes up early. A good touch here, puts it high. Maxiu may not read this correctly. It does go up with an opportunity for 1NE, but they're sitting back. What is 1NE doing? They have 20 seconds to form a confident attack here.
They've got to push up. It's a last-ditch effort. The clock ticking down towards zero. A one-goal game at the moment. Squirrel will send it long, but Baller Reese will easily receive. He cuts on in centre. LCT will take his time. Chaotic off the back. In comes Rapupi. The clock approaches zero. The time running out. If the ball touches the ground, it will be GG. In comes Baller Reese to send it low. Squirrel will try, but to no success. Pulse Clan move to the grand finals for the third time in a row. And 1NE's hopes and dreams of the major playoffs eliminated as Pulse Clan remain on top.
And Azure